Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Mac. Let's talk. So, last night I was on the show with Big J. Salute to my boy Big J. Let's talk. Everybody, make sure you go over there and give him a subscribe, like, and share. Uh, Same thing to Phoenix Lit. Go over to Phoenix Lit, check out his content, give him a like, subscribe, or share, or all three. Salute to you guys. Salute to you, Nine. Everybody else that's over there on Big J Let's Talk. So we were talking last night. We were discussing LiAngelo Ball and things that were going on, and the topic came up about old media and how old media now comes down to YouTube and check out all of us smaller providers to get their information, and we hear a lot of those talking points on their shows. So I wonder, are they really doing this? It kind of reminds me of in the music industry whenever they had the Chitterling Circuit. And back then that was just a makeup of all of the black entertainment artists who were on a lower level than the big people who were being pushed by the music industry itself. And so they would take those guys' music. This was before copyright infringement and things like that, and you could sue for it. So we all know that Elvis Presley took so many of Chuck Berry's songs, and that's why they say that Chuck Berry is the true king of rock and roll, because a lot of his music was plagiarized or stolen from the big industry artists. And this is the same thing that's going on right now as far as YouTube and sports information. You have so many YouTube content providers that are trying to make a mark for themselves. They're trying to make a name for themselves in this YouTube world. And we cover a whole lot of sports from a whole lot of different perspectives. And the thing is, we'll come together and we'll start to compare our notes, and we'll agree or we'll disagree, or we'll agree to disagree. But we always make sure that we're on top of our game whenever we get on here. Why? Because we can't afford the scrutiny. We are the smaller providers. We're trying to prove ourselves in an industry that's growing every day. There's a content provider being added to YouTube every single day. And so we have to make sure that our stuff is airtight, our information is correct, and all of these things like this. We're going to put the extra effort into it to make sure that people see us as being credible. And big media, old media knows this, and so they're going to come down here and they're going to listen, and they're gonna pick out certain things that could be said by anybody, basically, so that no one can claim that they've been plagiarized by old media. And old media will take those talking points and they'll go on their show and they'll talk about it and make it seem like they're really smart and they really know what's going on. But I'll take it back to the Chitterling Circuit thing. We're in an age where there's no plagiarizing cases going on YouTube. I hear people say all the time, "Oh, they stole my content. Oh, they stole this or that." How can you prove that? We all say stuff all the time, and sometimes we all have, well, not all, but sometimes a lot of us will have the same thought. Because if 2 plus 2 equals 4, and everybody sees that 2 plus 2 equals 4, and they say 4, I didn't steal your answer. I agree with the answer that you gave, and I came up with the same summary that you came up with. That's not stealing. And so in this YouTube world, we have to understand that some people are going to have the same thoughts based on the information that's laid in front of them. Some things are just obvious. So nobody's stealing your talking points. But there are certain specific things that we say, or certain specific views that people don't necessarily come from. And you'll have to check the timing on it. We can say that old media is stealing our talking points, but who's going to take the time to really check the timestamp on when we said something versus when old media says it? Not many people are going to go through that much trouble just to see if old media is stealing other people's talking points and stuff like that. They'll just chalk it up to big media because big media is the one that's most out there, and they're going to lean more towards what big media has to say than us in a lot of situations. But I see that tide turning now. A lot of people are starting to recognize that Sports Center is not they don't have a monopoly on sports information anymore. Used to be everybody go to Sports Center, but now, and Nine made a great point of this, that YouTube is the providers and the sports analysts on YouTube right now are killing it. I can go to my boy AB the Hero, and anything I want to know about the Ball family is there. Ball Facts. Let me see who else. Amax. There's a lot, man. And Big J, Let's Talk. D-Mac, Let's Talk. There are so many providers that are on top of their game. We sit and we watch sports, and we've been doing this for a long time, and we don't have the pressures of big media pushing us into certain narratives. That's like my show. I started my show in around April time frame, and I work pretty hard at this, but I also have a life outside of YouTube. I can't sit here every day, all day, and just be on YouTube like I would like to be, but I make sure that I research anything that I'm about to put out, and I make sure that it's something that I am comfortable and confident in saying that I can back up. Because like I said, I'm always going to have at least 2 or 3 resources to back up the things that I say, because I want to be credible. And so with this in mind, we have to look at big media for what they truly are. They are opportunists, and they see that we can't hold them accountable if they did steal our content. All we could do is just say that they're stealing our content, but how could we really prove that they stole our content? Everything comes out sooner or later. What's done in the dark shall always come to the light. So if this is what big media is doing, then hey, it's one of those hits that you have to take. But we know who the true researchers are and who the true analysts are. And speaking of researchers, if you're working for ESPN like a Stephen A., you have researchers to give you all of this information. But if you look at what they really get from these researchers is stats. The opinions and just the individual thoughts can't be given by those researchers. All those researchers can bring them is stats and storylines. That's all they can really give to them that they can really have any faith in. But when it comes down to giving a honest opinion and a calculated and accurate opinion about what's going on with the player or what's going on with the game, that's something they're going to have to come up with on their own. And believe me, I don't sit here and write out a scripted thing to just give y'all. I'm not sitting here looking at a script. I'll write down some key words or key points that I want to make so that I don't stray too far off topic. But as far as having cue cards and all that stuff, no. Everything that I say to you guys is from my mind, from my heart, from my spirit. Every single time. I do have an outline just to keep me on topic because I hate to stray away from my topic too much. That's something that I learned from being in a teacher's role. So when you look at these things and you see what big media is doing, is it really that serious? Not to me, no. It is for people who are really trying to eat off of YouTube. If you're trying to use this to generate a stream of revenue into your household, then that's an issue that you're going to have a problem with, and I understand that. But if you're like me and I definitely want to see this thing grow into something great because I want to set up a platform for the underdogs who really need an opportunity and people are not trying to give them one, they're just trying to use them. I want to open my platform up for those people. This is what my platform is about. It's not about being the biggest and the most watched and the greatest. Yeah, that's cool. That's what most people desire. That's what they want. But what I really want is deeper than that. It's more internal. It's not a surface level thing that I'm seeking from this platform. And so I understand that my grind is going to be slow and it's going to be steady, but it's going to be quality. That's what I care about. The fluff pieces, you're not going to get that from me. The bandwagon things, you're not going to get that from me. I'm always going to be coming from a different angle, and I'm always going to have a different point of view so that I can provoke thought. And that's something that old media can't steal. So as we go into these shows and we watch new media, because everybody's going to be checking to see if they're talking about LiAngelo Ball tomorrow. Well, if they're not, I'm still going to be checking the talking points that they're speaking, because a lot of these guys will say something that'll let you know that they've been tuning in to YouTube providers and checking out what our point of view is, because our point of view is starting to become more important than old media. And Nine pointed that out very well yesterday. So that's all I wanted to get on here and point out this morning. Hopefully this will spark some interest and people will go out and really pay attention to what I'm putting down right now. Yeah, this is your boy D-Mac, man. You know what I say, sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you.